Hello YouTube! Today we'll be going over the post-patch Jackhammer. In the February patch, the Jackhammer was buffed significantly, as were shotguns as a whole. So we're going to take a look at it and see if it's a good weapon or not. In short, sorta. The Jackhammer is still available for 1000 certs or 700 station cash, and is still a heavy assault weapon, restricting its use to one class, whereas other shotguns in the game can be used by medics, heavy assaults, light assaults, and engineers. So in order to outclass simply using a normal shotgun for your heavy assault kit, the Jackhammer would have to offer a better deal than using one of the normal shotguns. Even after the patch, it doesn't really do that. The Jackhammer still has 6 rounds, the same as 2 of the 3 other shotguns. Its reload speed was buffed, but is about the same as the NC Mauler. The Jackhammer's vertical recoil was lowered, but compared to other semi-automatic shotguns, 1.2 to 1.5 isn't a big difference, especially in close range where shotguns should be used. The accuracy bonus given to the Jackhammer in terms of accuracy lost per shot was the same as that given to other shotguns. In short, the point is that many of the buffs aren't really all that significant, since it's just moving it closer to being on par with other shotguns than actually better. Now with that said, some of the buffs were significant. The Jackhammer got a buff to its bullet spread, going from 3.0 to 2.5. Its projectile velocity is now at 400, which is faster than all other shotguns in the game, and also faster than all submachine guns, and its damage fall-off is superior to that of all other shotguns, counting close range to be 4 meters extra in comparison to any other shotgun. That's actually better than soft-point ammo submachine guns, with 12 meters until it starts having fall-off. However, the main problem with the Jackhammer was its damage, or rather the lack thereof. And its damage was not buffed. It still does 112 damage per pellet, 31 damage per pellet less than any other shotgun, coming out to 186 less damage per shot. So where other shotguns would start losing damage from distance fall-off, you may not have the fall-off, but you do less damage to begin with anyway, which mitigates the benefit. Now the Jackhammer can still kill an enemy if shot in the head at close range, and can still kill an opponent in 2 hits to the torso if all pellets hit. Both the Jackhammer and all other shotguns, assuming all pellets hit at close range, will kill enemies in the same number of shots, so it does do enough damage to retain that close range benefit. However, if you are fighting close quarters and some pellets miss, you may not kill an enemy, or a normal shotgun hitting with the same amount of pellets would land a kill. And that may cost you close-range engagements that you otherwise would have won if you had a normal shotgun. While the Jackhammer will offer a range increase to let you fight where a normal shotgun would be out of range, you're still not expecting all pellets to reach their target. The range you can fight at is noticeably larger, yes, but it's not as accurate as, say, a submachine gun. The idea behind the Jackhammer being useful, considering its stats, is that the accuracy and velocity would be significant enough that you'd get more hits with the Jackhammer than you would with a different shotgun. With 186 damage missing, 2 pellets from a normal shotgun missing where the Jackhammer would have hit is the minimum requirement for the Jackhammer to do extra damage per shot. A case where 4 of 6 of your pellets would hit may or may not be common depending on just how close your enemy is, but the accuracy of the Jackhammer would need to be enough to make those 2 extra pellets hit consistently, and I don't feel that it is. The Jackhammer's accuracy was buffed, yes, as was the shotgun spread, but they weren't buffed enough to provide the benefit we're looking for. Let's compare accuracy stats to the NC Mauler. The accuracy standing and moving while aimed down the sights is better, but only by 0.15. The accuracy while crouched, ADS, and moving is also better, once again by 0.15. All the other important accuracy stats are about the same. The hipfire standing and moving stats are the same, and if we instead compare to the sweeper, the Jackhammer is missing its crouch move ADS accuracy benefit, with the sweepers being over twice as good. The same goes for the piston. So the main accuracy benefit is a little ADS while standing and moving accuracy, and I emphasize a little. And we're still talking about a shotgun. The Jackhammer can engage people at longer ranges, and the extra range is easily noticeable, and it does seem to have a tighter pellet spread, but it doesn't feel tight enough to make a significant enough difference to justify using. Its extended range is mainly because of projectile velocity and the lack of damage drop-off, not because of accuracy. I feel that the role the Jackhammer fills is increased medium-range fighting power for a little reduced close-quarters fighting power, similar to switching to a submachine gun. That's the role it fills. But it's still a shotgun, and maintains too many shotgun traits for me to see it as particularly good at medium-range fights. In terms of personal review, I've done a few impressive things when testing the Jackhammer, but I don't really feel like they're things the Jackhammer let me do that another shotgun, or a submachine gun, or an LMG couldn't have done for me as efficiently or better. I found myself switching to my pistol on a highly consistent basis when using the Jackhammer, to the extent that I have expected to use my pistol if there is more than one opponent. And if you are a frequent viewer of mine, you know how my calculation works. We're always assuming you're fighting at least 2-on-1, and with that in mind, I'd have to say to expect to pull out a pistol for nearly every fight. In order to avoid this, you'll need to spend 100 certs on the extended magazine attachment to increase the Jackhammer's magazine size to 10 rounds. I do feel that would get rid of some of my discomfort with using the Jackhammer, but at a 6-round magazine, it's still the same as 2 of the other NC shotguns, and actually has less ammo than the sweeper. It can access an extended magazine attachment for 4 extra rounds, but so can the other shotguns, and I don't feel that the Jackhammer excels ahead in any way. I've successfully hit enemies a fair distance away with the Jackhammer, but the risk of the pellets hitting or missing has been, well, hit or miss. And many enemies at medium range can still require 4 or 5 hits to go down, because despite the Jackhammer's ability to hit at range being better than that of other shotguns, the Jackhammer in itself is still a shotgun, and pellets can still miss consistently. I feel a submachine gun or LMG would be better for the purpose of medium range fighting. And on that note, there's the issue of attachments. The Jackhammer only has 3, a laser sight, an extended magazine, and a flashlight, all of which are under-barrel attachments. So really, the Jackhammer can only use 1 attachment. Remember what I said about ADS accuracy earlier? Well, you don't get a sight with the Jackhammer. That means it can't use an INRV scope and may be much less useful at night if you're someone who depends on night vision. So the Jackhammer still can't use scopes like a normal shotgun. Its close-range capabilities are on par or worse than normal shotguns, depending on how much you value 2 extra rounds from the sweeper. And its only real benefit is being better than other shotguns at medium range. The only situation where I could justify the Jackhammer as an improvement would be that you want to keep the style of a shotgun, with close to the killing power close range of a shotgun, but a little more medium range power also. You could argue that it's better in very close quarters than a submachine gun, since if all pellets hit, it'll match the shots per kill of any other shotgun. But this offer as a primary weapon isn't really very good. It can fill a very specific desire for someone who wants a weapon to fill that exact role, but in terms of the deal you're being offered, I feel the weapon isn't worth 1,000 certs or 700 station cash. It's not as good at close range as a normal shotgun. It's not as good at medium range as a submachine gun or an LMG. If you consider a submachine gun relative to a shotgun to be a trade of close-range killing power for more medium-range killing power, the Jackhammer would be a side grade to it, allowing the change to not be as dramatic. That's the best definition of what the Jackhammer really is, a middle ground between shotguns and submachine guns. On the whole, I have to conclude that, while in that specific niche it can be useful, you're looking at a very specific weapon that can only appeal to a very particular playstyle. For someone who plays multiple classes, it's very difficult to justify getting the Jackhammer over another shotgun or an SMG. I don't feel that I would purchase the Jackhammer. While there are circumstances where I may like a more fine-tuned mix between shotguns and submachine guns, and the Jackhammer will let you retain most of your close-range killing power and provide a noticeable boost to medium range, the fact that the Jackhammer only fills that one role and can't be used on other classes, where both shotguns and submachine guns can be used, is very damaging. I can see a dedicated heavy assault who wants a little more range out of his shotguns and can live with a bit of a damage hit using the Jackhammer, but this requires a very specific need. For that need, it can be a strong pick, but it isn't anywhere else. So it'll come down to how much you play heavy assault and how much you wish for a little extra range on your shotguns, with the submachine guns or LMGs being too big a difference for you to like. If that is your need, the Jackhammer can be good for you, but I can't recommend the weapon beyond that point. I won't give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It has a role, and it fills that role. Its role just doesn't have a wide target market. Thank you for watching my review of the Jackhammer, and I'll see you next time. Later, YouTube.